What's happening in the world of real estate? May 2026 edition. We just got through April of 2026, and it was a different April than what we were expecting, and here's a few reasons why. Well, if you guys didn't notice, there's been some disruption. We went to war. There's been a cost of gas has gone up, and one of the big factors that affects real estate is mortgage rates. So technically, we are still below where we were in April of 2025 for mortgage rates, which is a great place to be. And at the start of the year, we were all expecting it to kind of be boring in mortgage rates, maybe even dip down into the high fives, low sixes, which we kind of got to that point. But then some things disrupted, some unease in the market and whatnot. And it created basically this February and March, we're doing good, getting a little bit more excited, and then we just kind of plateaued. And not that things dove into the ground, but it wasn't as lucrative as we thought for the month of April. So what does this mean? Well, if we just run some basic numbers here real quick, our absorption rate is down a little bit. Some of our average prices are up. Our days on market is up just by a couple days compared to year over date. What we're seeing is inventory coming on the market. We're still seeing some price ranges, are seeing some multiple offers. We're still seeing buyers get concessions during the inspection period, even during the regular offers. But there's motivated sellers out there. And those are the ones that if you're a buyer right now can be very attractive. When you find that motivated seller, they need to make it move for some reason, somehow. And now we're seeing buyers still continue to get some seller concessions to be able to buy down those interest rates, to be able to pay for some of the closing costs, to actually do some of the repairs. Sellers are still in a good position though, because buyers are buying. And if you're here in North Idaho, and you're over in the Shoshone County, Bunker Mine just opened back up. That's 200 people with good paying jobs that are now looking for housing. Some of them already live here. Some of them are coming from in out of state. So I do believe that my last few videos that we've done about market updates are still true. I think it's going to be a boring year. I don't think it's time that, you need to make adverse decisions, but I will tell you, if you're waiting I talked to someone today, I'm waiting for interest rates to come down to 4 or 4.5%. Fantastic. I'm going to take you off my call sheet because we're not going to be there this year. We may not be there for a very long time. There are ways that we're seeing to get people into homes at lower monthly payments, like I said, by buying down some rates, some other creative financing options. However, if you continue to wait, and we calculate the math all the time, you're paying 100% interest rate if you're renting. And, whatever market you sell in, you're buying in. So if you're a seller and you're waiting for prices to jack up to another $100,000, guess what? When you go to buy a house, it's going to be the same market. So always in that particular case where you've got one to sell and to buy, it is what it is. The market, if you're selling in a seller's market, you're going to be buying in a seller's market and vice versa. Now, if you're an investor out there and you're thinking, gosh, you know what? I think now might be the right time to buy. I think you're right too, because I don't know how long these interest rates are going to be at 6.5%. And there are some motivated sellers out there. Also, because it's at 6.5%, we're seeing some of those rentals be filled up because people have either gotten priced out or they're waiting until it goes down to, 5%, 5.9%, right? And so investors, I think this is a very lucrative time to buy. Now, if you're an investor that has something for sale, this is an interesting conundrum, right? Because it really depends on what your motivations are. I might hold off on selling for just a little bit. Now the market could do anything, and so please, if you hold off and I'm wrong on this, do not send me a bill, right? This is not legal advice. This is just my opinion of what we're gonna see. I think that the market could strengthen. Interest rates could dip down a little bit. You know, I do believe that some of the political unrest over in Washington and California, we're going to start to see some 1031 money starting to show up in the next 60 to 90 days, looking to invest in that next property. So if you've got multifamily housing or something like that, maybe start preparing that. Always go off of current data. So as of today, I'm making this video on March 6th. You know, March 12th, things could be different. Definitely, I'm saying May 6th, May 12th could be different. June 23rd could definitely be different. So always don't hesitate to call me for updated data. But what I do expect this May is for it to just kind of be boring. I don't think that it's going to take off. Homes are still going to continue to sell. I think we're going to hover right around that 90 days on market. Our absorption rate has been ticking up a little bit because we are seeing some more inventory come onto the market. But now, if you are a seller, residential seller, and you're just kind of coming in going, well, you know, I'm going to test the market, you might end up losing money. Speak to your real estate agent, give me a call. If you're not represented already, because if you're not coming on priced right, we're seeing homes get under contract very quick in some areas. Others are just sitting. There's a large chasm. There's a large gap between people that are testing the market and people that are motivated to sell. So if you're overpriced, there's a good chance you might be on the market. But we're seeing some good activity. Buyers are still out buying. It's just we don't have as many buyers, as many things going into escrow. I talked to a lender yesterday who said, man, April was one of the lowest times that they saw for pre-approvals, right? For people applying for those loans. That's a hint of what's to come for the next 30, 60, 90 days. So you got any questions, hit me up. BK knows the way.